Hello, Bay Area. Welcome to the Bay Area Real Estate Show, where we explore the current state of the real estate market in one of the most dynamic regions in the world. Today, we are going to discuss the tough realities affecting the Bay Area's housing market and challenge some of the prevailing narratives about the economic downturn. Now, let's get started. The Bay Area is always known for its tech giants, as we know, and stunning landscapes. And I've always been a magnet for people from all walks of the life. Even a recent trend show that vibrant region is like facing a significant challenges. Is it really true? But is the picture as bleak as some reports suggest? Recently was like noticing one of the news saying that economic downturn and other stuffs, correct? But let me give you one examples of the last 4 years how it went in. Just want to give you this example for you so that you can connect it. One of my client, like, they bought a first property what close to 3 years back. They bought one condo in San Jose, and they bought it for 980. It isn't a San Jose, it's a South San Jose. But as the family size increased and the office things changed for them, they felt Santa Clara might be a better. So they moved to a Santa Clara, and they bought a house for 1.5 million Santa Clara. That is 2 years back. And they sold the first house within a 1 year, and they sold the first house for a 1.2 million. In 1 year, they were able to make it close to 300K, and they sell it and they buy a one in 1.5. Now the family needs have changed, correct? So now they want to move it to a better 2400 square footage, and that would cost them close to a 2.9 in a Santa Clara city right now. So if they're even making a decision to buy a house for them, that much bigger house, that means like they're able to make that much of good money, correct? Always the tech industry pays you that much. And one of the most pressing issues is the economic pressure stemming from the tech industry's influence, right? As we discussed. And while tech has brought a unprecedented wealth to the area, it's also driven housing prices to these staggering heights. Even I just told you one example, like within a 1 year, how the house appreciated so much. And the median home price in the Bay Area is now among the highest in the nation, which we know. Santa Clara and Sunnyvale was recently like listed as the one of the highest cities, highest prices in the cities wise in the whole US. Now, making a home ownership in is like elusive dream for many. But let's break down some of these claims and challenge the narrative which I was watching recently, which so-called experts, correct? Uh, but like we have been like following the news about like economic downturn, and while challenges exist, it's important to question whether the situation is as dire as portrayed. For instance, like while the stock market has experienced volatility, it's a fluctuating indicator. That's all. Like it's like one day it might drop, but the next, if the company is doing good, it's always recovers depending on the things what they're working in. Short short term drops don't necessarily equate to a long term economic collapse. And now important one of the question comes down to is like always, should I hold on to my stocks, should I diversify my portfolio? That is where the things are happening in the real estate. A lot of folks, a lot of buyers, what I'm noticing in is like they're diversifying the portfolio. So one of the client which I'm helping them to buy a house for 2.5, they said, Nagaraj, I don't want to keep all the money at stock and I want to diversify the portfolio. Correct. And moreover, while the job growth may be slowed, it's crucial, right? It's to consider the overall employment picture. And many sectors are still hiring, and unemployment rates remain relatively low. The term recession has a specific economic definition, and while there are certainly economic headwinds, it's always premature to declare a recession without meeting the official criteria. And one more thing is like economic perspectives is essential to maintain a perspective. Historical data shows that economies are cyclical. When 2008, whatever we had noticed, there was like cyclical. It came down, but how many way people were able to jump in and get a benefit out of that? Correct. And periods of growth are often followed by periods of slowdown, and vice versa. The same thing applies for the stock market, same thing applies for the real estate. But do you see the same house values, whatever it used to be 10 years? Even during a 2008, it did collapse. Do we are going to even still meet 2008 needs or house prices? And many economists and experts believe that the current situation represents a normal economic adjustment rather than a catastrophic downturn. One more thing is I need to talk about the cost of the living. The Bay Area is not just expensive in terms of housing. Everyday expenses like groceries, utilities, transportation are also significantly higher than the national average. Do you guys agree that? Many residents find themselves grappling with the tough decisions, such as whether to stay in this area or relocate, go to a different cities. And one of the client, like they were working in a big high tech company. They sold their house in Gilroy, and I think I did talk about that house in a Gilroy, and they moved to a Texas, Austin area. But after they moved to 6 months, they called me, Nagaraj, I'm not happy here. I want to come back to the Bay Area, but let me make some more money and come back. And if they come back again and if they want to buy the house, what would be the expensive? What would the price thing, right? And living in the Bay Area often requires making significant lifestyle trade-offs. While the region offers an unparalleled cultural and recreational amenities, the financial burden can be always overwhelming, correct? The stress of managing these trade-offs can take a toll on a personal relationships and overall well-being. This again comes down to one family doing better because their incomes are better, but when you start comparing, and it's going to be a toll on the families, correct? And one more important thing I need to talk about is the overall increasing frequency of wildfires, right? And other natural disasters has made a homeowners insurance both necessity and a challenge. And it's so expensive. Whatever the prices it used to be on the insurance has doubled up. And many insurance companies are rising the premiums or like even a cancelling a policies altogether. You call to Geico, get a quote from Geico, and compare to farmers insurance, it's almost the same. Nothing changed. Nobody's uh, giving you a less quote. And one of the client recently shared that like the experience of battling with their insurance company or a repair that cost thousands of dollars. Like recently one of my client was like doing the roof upgrade because roof started leaking during a last rainy season, and they had a hard time to convincing the insurance companies, but finally they were able to successfully, because of the contractor was able to give highlight what went wrong, and they were able to do it, right? And this is one of the complexities and potential pitfalls of homeownership in the Bay Area right now. And I think as we wrap up today's episode, it is clear that the Bay Area real estate market is always facing a challenges. I was watching what 30 years, 35 years. Even there, the people used to complain, Bay Area real estate is hard, it's tough. And one more thing is like always notice, it's also crucial for if you're one of the home buyer, or you, is not to to avoid panic and maintain a long-term perspective. And one more thing is like this media outlets should provide a, I'm not talking media outlets is like especially the channel sometimes, right, should provide a more balanced view of the economy, highlighting both the challenges and the positive developments. Fear mongering, right, like can have a determinal impact on consumer confidence and business investment. But there are still some buyers who basically able to, in this economy also, right, they always think about the long term, and they're able to invest. So in a conclusion, what I'm trying to say is like while economic challenges exist, We must always focus on the facts. Avoid generalizations. Don't compare US market to Bay Area market and encourage a balanced reporting. And by fostering like kind of a more information and resilient public disclosure, we can better navigate these tough times. And thank you for joining on this show today. And if you have anything to share, if you think other things like what's happening, what do you think about this Bay Area real estate, and would like, you're one of the buyers and a seller, would like to leave your comments. Do leave your comments. And if you recently bought a house and you are one of like kind of thought it's thinking it's, did I make a good decision or a bad decision, and you're in the buyer's remorse mode, do let me know. So, what do you think? And thanks for watching in, and have a great day out there.